welcome back to my channel. I'm Noelle and it has been 6 weeks now since I've had my breast reduction surgery. So if you haven't seen the previous videos that kind of go through my whole journey, and there was a 2-week update as well, I will link them down below and I'll have them at the end of the video. But I thought I'd give a quick update just to explain kind of my journey from 2 weeks onwards up to the 6-week mark where you get another checkup. So the first thing at the checkup was they said thankfully that I was healing super well. So the wounds have now turned, well, they turned into scabs first and now they have fully scarred, which is great. The vertical scarring from the nipple to the underboob has basically healed really well, and actually quicker than expected, which is really good to hear. And also the underboob scarring, yes, it will take quite a while to, I guess, truly fade, but it's all scarred now, which means that it's less less painful, less itchy, just more comfortable overall. They said that I could get scar cream, silicone scar gel or silicone scarring strips if I wanted to kind of help with the scarring, I guess, make it quicker for it to fade. However, I did check these and the scar strips I don't think will work well for me because I exercise quite every day, so I think with the sweat etc I don't know how well it would be, how well they're going to stay on. But with the scar gel, I was also looking that up. I was like, that would definitely be a better fit for me, but it's I think it was 15 mils for 30 quid or something, £30. So considering there's technically not conclusive evidence to prove that they work, it was quite expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up to the 3-month mark, see how my scarring goes, because apparently it's scarring really well and kind of quicker than expected. And then if I still don't feel comfortable then, or I feel oh, I'm still not really happy with the way it looks, then I'll start using the scar cream, because you don't have to use it straight away, you can use it on older scars. So I'll give you an update on that when I have my 3-month mark. So now I can do pretty much everything that I couldn't do before. I can drive, I can exercise, which has been an interesting starting again as a beginner, which I will be documenting because I think it will be quite interesting, starting from basically losing all my strength and sort of fitness ability in the time where I wasn't really moving my body much at all. But it has been amazing, so stay tuned for those videos. If you want to subscribe down below, then you can keep track of my fitness journey. The only 2 things that I can't still do, they said wait to bathe, so to actually submerge yourself in a bath until 8 weeks, and I still have to wear my surgery bra up until 12 weeks, which isn't really an issue. I'm obviously going to have to try and work out my bra size through lockdown, and I will be doing a video of try-ons etc, just to try and work out if there's severe variation in sizes between brands etc, and I just think it would be an interesting try on. For reference, I tried on a bra already, which was a 32E, and that was slightly tight, but then my breasts are still swollen. They have dropped slightly to more of a natural position rather than looking very almost fake or implanty, but they still need to, I think, de-swell? Is that a word? De-swell? They need to calm themselves a little bit more, so we shall see. I think I will probably end up being maybe a 32E or a 32 double D was kind of my ideal size, but I'm completely happy with an E2. I have to say that the lack of back pain is absolutely amazing. there's no words to explain how different it feels on my shoulders and my back. I usually would be able to sit up like this for maybe 10 minutes or so, and then I would seriously be pushing myself and it would be really painful. But now I can do this for hours on end while I'm working, which is so good for my body and my posture, etc. Because before I would literally be like this all the time. So that's something that's already amazing. I'm not even getting to truly, I guess, enjoy my breasts, just because of lockdown and, you know, not going out and buying new clothes and trying on sort of bras, and just, I don't know, going to exercise classes more and that sort of thing. So the fact that I'm just so content and happy, and this was the best decision of my life, means that it's only going to get better in terms of how happy I am about it, which is great. Before I revisit the exercise point, I have to say one point, and this is a super important point. The itchiness was ridiculous. So bad. So I did mention in the previous video that it was kind of starting up, but then it got to a point where I was waking up in the middle of the night just because of how itchy my breasts were. Also, the rest of my body was itchy, probably because, you know, of surgery. I don't even know why. I mean, it's not like I wasn't showering and washing myself and moisturizing myself, etc. But my breasts, I understand obviously the breasts, because when they're healing, etc., it's natural to feel that sort of itchy sensation. But it was, oh, I can't even describe it to you, but it was horrible. And it was especially during the night, but during the day it became a constant problem. And obviously you can't itch too much or rub too much because you're scared, because you're gonna scratch your breasts that are already super tender because they've just been operated on. So it wasn't very nice. Luckily they've sort of subsided. The itchiness has subsided now, but it was a good at least 3 to 4 weeks of like it being a serious issue and affecting me on a daily basis. So back to the exercise part, I think a lot of people are quite interested in weight loss after breast reduction, because that is often one of the reasons of finding it difficult to exercise, etc., why people want to get a breast reduction. So for me, my experience is that weight loss still doesn't just come naturally, I guess, after a breast reduction, or didn't for me. You still have to put in the work, whether it be, you know, eating healthier, exercising more. However, the ease of exercise is serious improvements. So if you can get better range of motion, you find it easier to exercise, you're more motivated, that means that in turn you will probably end up losing weight quicker than if you still had your heavy breasts, and in a way more comfortable way. But I wouldn't just say it just, you know, after your breast reduction surgery it just falls off. And for me particularly, I actually gained weight because I went from moving my body a lot to not moving it pretty much at all for 6 weeks. Yes, I went on walks, etc., but it wasn't the same as doing lots of HIIT workouts and dance, etc. So I've actually put on weight. I'm not hating on myself or, you know, being mad about it. It's absolutely fine, but I can already feel that my body is changing a lot quicker now that I've started exercise, just because I guess it goes from two extremes, right? So I'm finding it just easier to exercise and I'm a lot more happier. So the main problem with me previously was just I never stayed consistent, whereas this I already feel is going to help me keep a consistent regime, which is I think is very important when you want to kind of lose some weight. Another reason why I think I struggled was I had this whole the operation, the recovery, etc. through lockdown, and just due to the natural, I guess, ups and downs of lockdown, I did struggle quite a lot with emotional eating, and this was even after the surgery, especially when I couldn't move, I wasn't getting enough sleep. You know, you're in an uncomfortable place when you're recovering. That's a whole nother story. I have suffered with emotional eating for quite a few years, but honestly since I was a child, and that I'm gonna do a whole video on that and a discussion on kind of my experience of that, but that's for another day. And like I said, I'm going to document my fitness journey on here. It is quite a big deal. I've never really shown my body in pictures that are just, you know, not specifically posed to look good. My body in its natural state, I guess. So that would be really interesting. I'm going to be completely honest. Spoiler alert, I think my first program is going to be Chloe Ting, so I'll let you know how that goes, and I'll post a video showing my results, and then I will post videos thereafter whenever I do specific programs to see if they work, to see how my body's doing. If I, you know, struggle at any point or I put on weight, I'm not going to try and hide that. I'll just let you know. But yeah, stay tuned. So the next portion are the picture comparisons. So I'm going to show you 1 week versus 2 week, as I showed you in the previous video, just for reference, and then I'm going to show you 2 week versus 6 weeks, so you can see the difference. Pay big attention, I think, to really like the scarring versus the scabbing in the previous pictures, so you can see how much it's healed.
Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you.
I'm also going to show you a few pictures I took literally the night before I went in to have my surgery, compared to some of the pictures now, and these are all in just different types of clothing, so you can kind of see how different things look once you have smaller breasts. But the rest of my proportions have pretty much stayed the same, if not gotten slightly bigger, but overall pretty much stayed the same, and you'll see those in the video. But you can already see with certain tops, etc., that the whole shape of my body, especially the vest top that you will see in a moment, it completely changes how your body looks and your body shape, especially if you have that sort of smaller waist area that was being completely covered by your breasts. It's crazy.
I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop, yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop. Ooh, never panic. Get a worry, send it up in an advantage. I can't stand it.